If you don't know who Wallace and Gromit are, here's a brief explanation before we get into the video. Wallace and Gromit are a man and a dog who like cheese. They are made out of clay, they have grand days out. Throughout the years, there have been 3 attempts to make a good Wallace and Gromit video game. Let's check them out. We start with Wallace and Gromit We Bought a Zoo. It's a crossover with a Mark Wahlberg movie. Wait, sorry, what's that? Oh, it was actually Matt Damon, but also the joke isn't actually funny anyway? Okay, so it's actually called Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo, which is somehow actually a worse name. This game is nearly old enough to drink in America, which is ironic because I feel like you need a drink in order to make this game fun. I had never played this one before, so I was excited to check it out. The premise is simple. A human and his dog are going to the local zoo to celebrate the birthday of one of their friends, Archie. A polar bear. Hey, now, I'm not judging, but you know that polar bear would turn on you in an instant if given the chance. They turn up to find the zoo is locked. Wallace actually goes to see what's up, only to find out Feathers McGraw had escaped from the PP, that's the penguin prison, and he's up to no good. He's taken over the zoo and has captured all the animals, so Wallace and Gromit return at night using a Trojan penguin? It actually surprised me to see McGraw in this game, and I think it surprised Wallace too, judging by the surprise tone he has every time he says his name.
Feathers McGraw, Feathers McGraw, Feathers McGraw.
We play as Gromit in this one, and straight away the controls feel clunky, which can be the absolute decimation of platforming games. The graphics are okay. Wallace freaks me out a little bit, and Gromit runs like a gremlin. There's coins scattered around, and mini-games in the areas to get more of these coins, but then once I unlocked 10 of them, it appeared that you just unlock a clip from one of the movies, and knowing I have all the movies on DVD where I can watch the entire thing anytime, I'm not gonna lie, I quickly lost interest. Surely getting an unlock should be better. Extra health, a slightly higher jump, an unlockable car. And a lot of the puzzles to get these coins were actually quite mundane. Like this one, where you just have to push down on the buttons in the order that's in front of you. A child could figure this out. It's almost as if this game is geared more towards children, which is BS because adults like Wallace and Gromit more. Wallace himself wouldn't be able to figure it out though because he's a bit of a, to put it lightly, idiot on this one.
I can't see you.
The gameplay is really just your average platformer, but you've got a banana gun to start with, and I imagine you get more stuff as the game goes on. The game has bonus levels, which at first I thought was cool. It's not. It's not. This jump was impossible. First jump didn't go far enough, so I tried to jump a little bit later, but there's a slight delay. So I kept dying and dying until I accidentally figured out that you can do a higher crouched jump. Cool. I just wish it told me. So I thought maybe it's like Jak and Daxter where you can roll into an extended jump. So I was excited to try this out. If I hear that noise just one more time, I don't think I can do this anymore. I finally made it. I finally got through about 5% of the room. Wait, we can do this. Surely we can do this. The hard part's out of the way, right? Just gotta swing on this, get our momentum up, and what the fuck was that? So I tried a few more times and kept failing, so I just turned around and left. And after I leave, what message do I get? Thanks a ton. I really could have used that not 5 minutes ago. You continue on to like a death trap temple, you do more platforming, etc, do more puzzles, do a little bit of fighting, until you inevitably reach your first boss. And let me tell you, the camera in this game, that's the real boss. In the sort of standard classic platforming way, it's a bit of a gimmicky boss. You have to fight his little goons and avoid whenever it charges at you, in which case it'll hit into the wall and you just have to jump on top, rinse and repeat. After the boss has exploded, McGraw escapes again. So then it's down into an underground Minecraft. I actually... I didn't even, that wasn't a slip of a tongue, I've written that down for some reason. So then it's down into an underground mine shaft, which is honestly quite cool. Going from a tropical jungle type area through the temple into an underground tunnel is not what I was expecting. Remember, this all takes place at a zoo, which is making me question what type of shit goes on at the local zoo. When those meerkats go underground, are they mining for their human overlords up above? I punched the underground weasel thing, oh my god, we're disgusting, and they just smiled and waved back. I've never felt like such an asshole. I can't bear to play this game anymore just in case I end up punching a small child or something. Such a shame because I love Wallace and Gromit and it perfectly captured the charm and humor, but the gameplay lets it down and it feels like the rest of the game is going to be more of the same, which is pretty average. I'm dropping it here because I feel like it won't be worth my time, your time, our time. I did play it for about 2 hours. On to the next game. In 2009, Telltale had a go at making a point-and-click adventure. This was 3 years before they found their massive success with The Walking Dead. It was released on Xbox 360 and Windows. Let's see if by 2009 they had found their footing yet. It starts with Wallace demanding breakfast, which is pretty on point so far. So we best get him out of bed, but not before we interact with a bunch of random shit, because that's what a point-and-click game is. We bring Wallace down and as you can see, he's wanting breakfast, so let's make that. And straight away he's demanding the post be brought to him.
Well, what did the postman bring us then? Any orders? Hand it over, lad.
Walkies can wait, Gromit. I need me breakfast.
Wallace, come here a second. I need to have a word with you. If your dog wants walkies, you do not deny him his walkies. And I don't want to have to tell you this again. As you can hear, it's a different voice actor. Rest in peace, Peter Sallis. And honestly, he makes Wallace sound like a prick. I could have done better myself.
They've forgotten the crackers.
The guy who's taken over, he's not the best, but he's not actually that bad. Right, okay, let's actually go make his breakfast now. Whoa, what the fuck is that? I think it's meant to be a squirrel. We're not actually allowed to close the window, so I guess it's time to go outside and get our toast back.
Walkies can wait, Gromit. I need me breakfast.
I thought I told you don't deny him his walkies.
Hey! Ow!
Also, how did you know I tried to get out the back door? I don't like the fact that I think you're watching me all the time.
Don't push me buttons, Gromit.
I just don't get why he's so grumpy in this one. That's not the Wallace I know. Right, let's get this racket, just in case he steps out of line. As we get the honey, we find out their skin and can't pay their bills. But they're planning on getting into the honey business. Now that we've got our honey, let's make the rest of breakfast. You have to do a couple puzzles to get the rest. Probably took about 10 minutes to do the whole breakfast section. I still don't know why he didn't just close the damn window. Right, let's go give it to him. I'm sure he won't be annoying about it at all.
Cracking eggs, Chuck. But I can't tuck in until I get my toast and honey. Done to a turn. My compliments to the chef. But I can't break my fast without honey. Honey? How sweet of you, Gromit. Now that's what I call a breakfast feast. Wasn't so difficult, was it, lad?
Right, where's that racket gone? I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill him. Looks like someone's gonna beat me to it. I think I'm gonna let him. Okay, so the guy is just asking if Wallace can produce 50 gallons of honey by tomorrow. We then play as Wallace and start by feeding all the underage bees he has locked in his basement. Riveting stuff.
Phew. That'll put me right to sleep.
Oh, was he thinking about playing this game? We need to get more flowers to keep feeding the bees.
You can jolly well grow your own.
That's the face of someone who's considering becoming a serial killer. But she's given us the seeds so we can actually plant our own. Now it's off to town we go. Look, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of traipsing around and doing odd bits here and there. It's a little bit boring. So first I'm gonna show a clip that I found absolutely hilarious. And then I'll just recap it and skip to the parts that I did find fun.
A snail? In my garden?
You figure out a way to make the flowers bloom instantly, and then go supersized. That whole section takes about half an hour. Then you feed it to the bees, they produce for 50 gallons and you deliver it. Then when you get home you find out that bees have turned massive and are now invading. Actually figuring out how to get rid of all these bees was honestly quite fun. Then Queen Bee takes Wallace away and keeps trying to eat his ass. It's a puzzle to beat her, of course, which ends up with you changing the station to one that makes her laugh. You're definitely not listening to one of my videos. Then you shoot some of that insta-grow stuff into her. Wallace reverse engineers the formula. You know what?
Now we can finally cut our bee problem down to size. Though there is one small complication.
This ending actually got another laugh out of me, but it didn't do enough to make me want to actually play the rest of the episodes. Okay, so far we've played a very mediocre platformer and a slightly above average point and click game. Now we're headed into the movie tie-in game, the only one I had ever played prior, but I haven't played it since like 2006 maybe? Released in 2005 on the PS2 and Xbox, the graphics are honestly pretty good. On this game you're given tasks to do. To collect cards. Are you sure you don't want me to get rid of these statues as well? They're all looking a little bit hideous to me. So what's the main gameplay like? It controls similarly to the zoo one, except it feels quite a bit better. It's more responsive and you can swap to Wallace as well. The camera is still a bit of a bitch though. So what kind of tasks are there? Some are fun, some are shite. The one you'll see most is the rabbits are ravaging my melons or whatever, and you have to clear them out. It's a shame that this is the most common one because it's clunky and frustrating. It is super satisfying when a bunch of them get sucked down at once though. You have to get as many as you can in a minute whilst not letting the veg be demolished. There's ones where you have to sort the veg out into the right baskets. So fun. There's ones like this where you have to hit 10 street lamps before this kid does.
Even my grand's faster than you.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Hey,
There's a football task too. Then once you've done enough, you talk to this helpful lady, and she gives you the power to turn day to night.
Do you want to go tonight?
Oh gee, I thought you'd never ask. Where are we going? After we turn to night, it's the sexy stripper scene. But before we move on, we have to seduce this guard first, and it lasts about 3 minutes too long. Keep the rabbits away from this man, and not because he's allergic. God damn it, how many people in this town are sexually attracted to rabbits? So you do it again, and then just like in the movie, you try to go through a tunnel, the rabbit falls off the top, and when Wallace goes to investigate, he turns into the were-rabbit. And then we have to chase him on the bouncy alien toy thing, I forgot what they're called. Why did we decide to do this on the night that everyone put all their spiky traps out? After the section is complete, you actually get Hutch as a playable character with you, and you fight for the first time. But it couldn't save this game. Mentally I was just drained of Wallace and Gromit video games at this point, and I just couldn't do it anymore, knowing that there'll be so many more tasks that feel like chores. I feel like this game has all the ideas of a good game, but all the execution of a bad game. I do just want to quickly touch on something that did quite interest me. There's a shop that you spend your coins at, where you can buy watering cans, thermostats and some other shit to help grow your giant vegetable. I truly wanted to see how big this thing goes. I wanted to take care of it, but the game hadn't enticed me quite enough, so I guess I'll just drown and overheat it. Well, there we have it. That's the state of Wallace and Gromit video games. Mediocre at best, and goddamn does it hurt me to say that because I genuinely do love Wallace and Gromit. I will say they all managed to capture the charm and humour of Wallace and Gromit, but everything else lets it down. Big thank you for watching, and if you got to this point, consider subscribe. Never mind.